Yeah, of course. Thank you. Like the first, thank our medical staff and our medical team that have worked tirelessly to help give us an opportunity to play. And you can see around the country, there's teams that don't have the opportunity to play, and we've been able to stay above the line and give our guys a chance to play because we need to play. We need to be able to get out there and play football so, we can see what we have and who we are and continue to build. So I'd like to thank them for that. Obviously, again, turnovers, and penalties in the first half, against any type of team, okay? Any team, you do not give yourself a chance. Okay. And that was basically the story, of this game. The guys continued to play hard. We had a shutout in the second half. Defense continued to play hard, but we lost the battle of field position. I think their average starting position was the 47-yard line, and ours was a -20. And even though we took the ball away a couple of times, that's not complimentary football. Offense, defense, and special teams, everyone doing their job on a consistent basis. And consistency in performance, again, is a killer for us because we're inconsistent. We have some efficient plays on offense, okay, and then nothing. And then you can't take the defense off the hook as well. Then we had opportunities to get them stopped and didn't. And then special teams, obviously, we just have to be more efficient and we need to be more explosive and win the battlefield position and be more physical and make more explosive plays. But it's that's the facts. And it's just straight down the middle. You can see it. It's obvious. You turn the ball over and you have critical penalties against a good football team, you are going to get beat. And so that's what happened. We need to figure out what we can do with the guys that we have. But one thing that we are able to do, because we are able to play, is we are able to evaluate, who we have and what they can do, okay, and who wants to or has the ability to play the type of football that we need to play here to be successful. And so we're going to continue to move forward with our process, which we believe in, which is stick with the facts, see what happened, look at the film, identify the mistakes, make the corrections. It's going to be structural, mental, or physical, and then evaluate the roster, see who needs to be in what position, and then move and turn the page and go on and prepare for the next game. And so that's what we're going to do.
All right, we'll take a few questions. We'll start with Chris Solari from the Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Mel, I guess, first of all, what goes into the decision to take Rocky out at the point that you did this week? And I guess your evaluation of what Peyton did to deserve that chance and stay in the game.
Yeah, we thought it was decision making early in the game in the first half, and then Peyton was the next man up, and so we gave him an opportunity, and it was as simple as that. We'll look at the film and we'll evaluate it more, okay, and then we'll see what we need to do moving forward. But there's no position set in stone on this team, the quarterback position or any other.
Just from a ground level, did you feel the offense moved a little bit better with Peyton in there?
We're inconsistent. We were inconsistent, with both guys in there. We had some efficient plays, and then we were inefficient. So we'll know more when we look at the tape tonight.
For our next question, we'll go to Lindsey Huddleston.
Emil, from my vantage point, I could see you before the second half pouring into Shakur Brown. He had 2 interceptions. The Big Ten Network social media saying no fly zone all again. Was this play today a bright spot or an expectation?
Well, we continue to work with him because he's a talented young man, okay, and there's things that he can do, that he needs to do to get better, to improve. And we've been working on those things. He's been working on those things, And so, just his approach to the game. And, when you do that and you approve and you work on the things that you need to work on, at that position, you're going to get an opportunity to make plays. And so, he's making some of those plays. Also at that position, you have to be very, very efficient, because like at a corner position, especially, or the safety position, you may only be at the point of attack, maybe 7-8 times in a game when it really matters, and so, if you give up a play, that's really, is that a winning performance or not? You have to look at it that way. But has he made strides? Yes. Does he need to continue to make some strides in technique and fundamentals? Yes. And from what I've seen from him, he's willing to do that. And so I'm encouraged by some things I've seen from him so far this season.
Okay, thank you for that.
Our next one comes from Matt Wenzel with M Live.
Hey, Mel, I think through, 4 games in, that's 3 games with 60 or fewer rushing yards on the ground. You guys used 5 different running backs, I believe. What would it take to change that, and how much would that open up the offense for you?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand the first part. I know you have a mask on. I have a mask on. I'm just trying to, the first part of it, if you could give it to me one more time, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's three games of the first 4 with 60 or fewer yards rushing. I was just wondering and you've used 5 different running backs, just wondering what it would take to change that, turn that around for the run game, and how much that would open up the offense for you guys, given the last 2 weeks have been not what you expect.
Yeah, we have to figure out, what we can do with the guys that we have, and when the holes are there, we need to hit them. Okay, and if they're not there, we got to figure out why, and can we run those plays, or do we have to come up with something else? But at the end of the day, it's a very simple game, and you can only scheme your way so much in a run game. From a running game standpoint, it's you got to be able to get a hat on a hat and move people, and then you got to be able to hit the hole with velocity and fall forward on contact, and that's what has to happen. So, we've given guys opportunities to run the ball in the backfield, okay, and then we'll make a decision going into this next week or this next game. Who's going to get the lion's share of the carries and who's not. But it's a constant work in progress. But we need to be able to run. We need to be able to run the ball, and we're going to continue to attempt to run the ball so we can have some type of balance on our offense and not be one-dimensional.
Okay, with Maryland, obviously the situation they have not playing this week, and Mike Loxley had said he didn't know when they were going to get back again. How do you address that with your team moving forward into a week of real uncertainty now?
We're expecting to play them. I don't know what their situation is. I'm not sure why they're playing or why they're not playing, but we're going to be prepared to play as long as we can meet the thresholds in terms of players available and COVID numbers and things like that are set forth with the Big Ten and all that. As long as we can stay within those numbers and we can field a team, we're going to play. So we're going to prepare to play until we're told differently. We need to play. We need to play football.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Matt Charbonneau with the Detroit News.
Hey, Mel, you've mentioned a couple times about, evaluating the players and doing what you can with the guys you have. Does that lead you to believe that right now a lot of the issues are execution? And can we expect to see some more juggling of players until you find the right combinations of the guys you have right now?
Much of it is about execution because we're inconsistent, which means you see us able to make plays on both sides of the ball. We're able to make plays in the run game. We're able to make plays in the passing game. And then at times we're not able to. So that's being inconsistent, but everything's an evaluation. every game rep, every practice rep, how guys pay attention in meetings, what type of notes they take. We collect their notes, we look at their notes, how they perform in the weight room, what they do from a nutrition standpoint, all those things, punctuality, everything is an evaluation, for us. And it's ongoing, and that's never going to stop. And then based upon, who we have in our evaluation, then though we'll put the guys out there that we feel like give us the best chance. And then we'll work for we need to work for better execution. We need to work harder. Okay, we need to be tougher mentally and physically. Okay, and we need to keep hammering our culture of accountability, attention to detail, sense of urgency, okay, and grinding, and not making excuses, finding a way to get it done. That's what we're going to do every single day.
We got time for a couple more, starting with Jim Comparoni from Spartan Magazine.
Hey, Mel, what did you think of the pass defense overall today, Michigan State's pass defense?
I really have to look at the tape. I thought we were soft on some of their quick game things. I think early in the game we were exposed down the middle because of mental errors or lack of execution. We wanted to make the quarterback win outside. You always want to make quarterbacks win outside from the pocket, but the yards after the catch were too much. If a guy throws the ball outside, in zone coverage, you should at least be able to contest the throw, or at least be right there in a position to make an immediate tackle. And so, we played a couple of different guys out there. Obviously, with Gerb being out, with Trey Person being out, so we were able to, we gave Angelo Gross. We gave him an opportunity, saw Julian Barnett. So guys are getting out there and getting plays, and we're seeing what they can do, and we're working to teach, motivate, and develop those guys. At times it was tight coverage, and at times it wasn't tight enough. So we'll look to be more consistent in that regard. And again, rush and coverage have to work together. And so even though the ball was out quickly, on some of those plays, and there was not an opportunity to get a rush, there were other times when we had an opportunity to get a rush, okay, and the quarterback had too much time. And so we need to be court. We need to make sure the rush and coverage is working together. And so we're going to go back. We have a tremendous amount of work to do. Trust me on that. A lot of work.
And our final question today is going to come from Bob Wojnowski with the Detroit News.
Hey, Mel, you've mentioned a couple of times, obviously, trying to evaluate players every minute of every day. How difficult has that been? Do you feel like you're making headway there and learning about players? And after losses like this, how difficult do you think it'll be to keep their attention going forward this season?
No, it's not hard to evaluate players. We film everything that we do. We see them every day. We talk to them. We have numbers, we have reports, we have the information that we need. And I don't see a reason why we wouldn't be able to, just because you don't have success on the field. And I don't know why there would be an issue about relative to getting their attention, because if you want to play and you want to get better, then you need to pay more attention. And if you don't, if there's a lack of attention, then that means you don't want to be here. So, and then that's part of the evaluation as well. But I don't really see that being an issue. But if it is, then that will be addressed. Because we're going to move forward with the guys who do want to pay attention, who are paying attention, who do want to get better, and who want to go out there and be able to win their one-on-ones, and play at a high level on a consistent basis. But I'm not worried about getting guys' attention.
All right. Thank you, Coach. That's all that we have for today.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you for covering our team.
So no players, Matt?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insinuate that. That was just for Coach Tucker.
I was getting literal there for a minute.
Yep. I'd like to remind the media that is here on MSU's campus that we do have a mask mandate if you are in an enclosed space with other individuals. Thank you. Okay, at this point, we're joined by Antoine Simmons. We'll take questions in the chat. Our first question comes from Chris Laurie with the Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Antoine. The last 2 weeks obviously have not gone the way that you guys had hoped and wanted for. How do you now redefine what is ahead for the next 4 games for you guys?
I mean, we just find out what we need to do a little bit more of. It's obvious we're not doing something. It's obvious we're not doing something right on the field. We're not executing, and whatever's happening on the field is causing us not to execute. So we got to figure out what's happening out there. Go back to the drawing board fix those, and come back tomorrow ready to work. Nothing changes. We still have a game to play next week. We still got 4 more games to play. We got a long season ahead of us, and we just got to keep playing. It's nothing. We just got to keep fighting, keep playing to execute our game plan.
Our next question comes from Matt Charbonneau with the Detroit News.
Antoine, I know I feel like we asked this in the first game, but when the turnovers happen and they're starting, I think 3 or 4 drives inside your 30-yard line, how difficult is that for a defense? And then the flip side of that is, can you be happy with the way you guys played considering what you gave up in the field position and how you shut them out in the second half?
Well, to the first question, it can be hard, but at the end of the day, you got to get out there and play ball. You know what I mean? If somebody turns the ball over, you go out there and you get a 3 and out. What is there to complain or be sad or feel down about? You stop them. You give the ball back to your offense. You give them a chance to drive back down the field and score or put up some points. That's just what it is. The game is going to have its ups and downs. The momentum is going to change, and you just got to keep playing. It doesn't really matter. But as far as the second half, we played good. We played good in the second half. I think throughout the entirety of the game, I think we even played good. Just like I said earlier, we just got to go back to the drawing board, figure out what mistakes, what we were doing on the field to give up those 3 touchdowns. So, but other than that, I am content. I am content with the way we played in the second half.
Our next question comes from Matt Wenzel with MLive.
Antoine, obviously we talked to you in the past about being, the leadership, you and Rocky being guys who talked to the team before Michigan. Rocky obviously struggling today and being replaced by Peyton Thorne. I was wondering, how much do you notice that being on the other side of the ball? And is there anything you say to Rocky moving forward?
Can you repeat the first part of that question, please? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Just with you and Rocky being leaders on the team, obviously, and Rocky struggling today and being replaced by Peyton Thorne, I was wondering, is there anything you say to Rocky today? How much you guys notice that on the defensive side, and is there anything you say to him moving forward as a leader in the next week?
Well, you can't play. Playing this game, you're not going to play lights out every game. You're not going to have a All-American or All-Conference type game every game. You're going to have an off day. And today, Rocky just had an off day, and it happens. It happens to us. Peyton came in. He did what he could do. He made plays for us, and that's it. That's all we can do. I think Peyton did a great job coming in and trying to make things happen for us. He put a lot of good tape out there, and I'm excited to see what he does for us in the future, whether he's the starter or Rocky. Both of them are good quarterbacks. They're leadership guys. They're guys we can get behind, and we trust either one of them.
Thanks, Antoine.
Is there anything else for Antoine at this time? One more question comes from Matt Wenzel with MLive.
Hey, Antoine, I know you guys haven't given up a ton on the ground in some of these games outside of last week, but I think that's a dozen rushing touchdowns already allowed this year, which is even one more than last year. Is there anything to that as far as when they get down there and you guys are backed up to the goal line, whether it's a new scheme or something they're doing that you can attribute to that?
I don't know anything specifically about that. One thing I am learning that we're learning as a defense is that pretty much based on how many rushing touchdowns you give up will reflect on how successful your defense is or how successful your team is. It's a lot of it says a lot about a team when teams give up a lot of rushing touchdowns. And that's definitely something we got to get better at. Red zone, we've been aware of that, and we have gotten better. We had big stops today. We had big stops in the red zone, on the goal line, multiple times. So, I'm not really too. I'm not gonna say I'm not concerned, but we do need to get better. We do need to get better. So,
thank you.
All right, we have 2 final questions for Antoine, starting with Chris Solari and then go to Wojo. Chris?
Obviously, you've seen what happened with Maryland's program getting shut down and that game getting canceled against Ohio State this week. I guess, how
It
do you
doesn't
kind
change
of
anything for us. Doesn't change anything for us.
is there any fear or trepidation that you have at this point, knowing that cases are rising?
No. We're still going to come in tomorrow, ready to work as if we're playing Maryland next Saturday. No, nothing will change. We're going to come in. We're going to do our treatments. Come Monday, we're going to practice. Tuesday, we're going to be fully padded. Wednesday, we're going to be fully padded. That's what we do here. We're going to work, and we're going to get better. You know what I mean? That's all we can do is work. And I do feel like we got better from last week. We just didn't execute our game plan, and that's what football is. Just executing the game plan. The team that executes their game plan the most is the team that's going to win.
And our final question comes from Bob Wojnowski with the Detroit News.
Yeah, do you feel at all with your teammates as a leader on this team, will it be a challenge at all for you to keep them motivated going forward, or do you see signs that that's not going to be a case for this team?
No, we have guys. Everybody in our locker room loves football. We want to play. Guys wouldn't be here. I mean, everybody across the country had the opportunity to opt out, and still has that opportunity to opt out. So with everybody being here, that means they're fully invested in this program, and that they're going to do what they got to do to make sure we're moving forward. So I don't see anybody in our locker room is going to hang their heads or it's going to not come in ready to work tomorrow or Monday. That's not happening. I don't see it happening. And if it's even smelled out, it's not flying. You know what I mean? That's not what we're about. That's not what we do in this program.
All right. Thank you for your time today, Antoine.
Thank you.
We'll be joined shortly here by Peyton Thorne, and then that will be our last student athlete today. All right, at this time, we're joined by Peyton Thorne. Our first question comes from Chris Solari with the Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Peyton, we didn't get a chance to talk to you after last week's game. I guess kind of what's the difference maybe between week 1 and week 2 for you in making a debut versus getting extended playing time this week?
Yeah, it was definitely nice last week to kind of get that first snap out of the way, that college snap. And then this week it was nice to get in there and get some real action and be able to move the ball around a little bit. Wish I would have played a little bit better today, obviously, but yeah, it was nice to get out there and get some snaps.
That first play, kind of walk us through it when you take the snap. Was that a designed RPO, or did you know you were going to run it there?
Yeah, that was a read for us. So I got a pull read, and we had good blocking on the perimeter, good blocking inside, and just tucked it and ran. And again, nice blocking by our receivers to give me an opportunity to get downfield.
Our next question comes from Matt Charbonneau with the Detroit News.
Yeah, Peyton, was it as quick as that first play that you kind of felt like you were in it, or did it take you a little bit to kind of feel like, okay, I'm back in this and I feel a little more comfortable out here right now?
Yeah, it was nice to get in there and kind of, get hit in that first play. You hear a lot of people talk about the first time you get hit, it kind of turns real. So I haven't been tackled in a while. So kind of getting tackled like that kind of woke me up and got me ready to go. So yeah.
And I want to ask you too about, we've talked a lot about Rocky's leadership. Did he continue to kind of help you through this game as it was going? And I guess, how do you approach moving forward now in hopes of maybe getting more playing time?
Yeah, he was looking at stuff on the sideline and trying to help me. He's a great guy, and I know that he was trying to help me on the sideline. So as we move forward, all of us want to play, and ultimately it's not up to us who plays; it's up to coach. And I know we both show up every day and be ready to work and put our best foot forward. So.
All right. Our next question comes from Ricardo Cooney, Spartan Mag.
Hey, talk to me a little bit about what you saw out there as far as your reads and I guess your comfortability as things progressed while you were playing today.
Indiana has a good defense, and they do a lot of different stuff. So really important to get your eyes on the right guy out there. And coach has coached us well on who to look at and when to look at him. So just trying to get through your reads and distribute the ball and get it to our guys that can make plays. So I missed a couple reads, I'm sure, today. It'll be interesting to look at the film and see what it looks like, but definitely looking to clean up moving forward.
As a quick follow-up to that, talk about your footwork and just where you thought that was. Did you have happy feet sometimes? Did you have to kind of ground yourself throughout the process? How'd you feel about your footwork?
Yeah, I'm sure that when I look at the film, I probably left the pocket a little early once or twice, and that's definitely something that we'll be able to clean up down the road, and definitely we'll be focusing on that. And I thought our offensive line played pretty well today. And they gave me a chance to throw the ball. So,
our next question comes from Matt Wenzel with MLive.
Hey, Peyton, I was wondering, scout team guy last year, what do you think you did to become the backup to put yourself in the position to get the playing time today?
I just took it day by day and tried to get better. Everyone says you try to get better every day. And we were home for quite a while, obviously, with COVID over the summer. And luckily I have, 2 receivers here that I went to high school with. So they're right down the road from me, and I was able to work out with them just about every day, And so having them and having guys at home that back from high school that were helping me out a ton, I feel like I was able to get better. And then Coach Johnson has definitely helped me as he's come in all of our Zoom meetings and everything. I feel like he's helped me mentally and progressing my knowledge with the game. So I think this off season, I feel like I got better this off season, and it was a positive off season, even though there was a lot of distraction and time away from school.
And how do you expect the reps, your preparation to possibly change in practice this upcoming week?
The preparation won't change. I've been making sure to try to prepare like I'm playing, because you really never know as the backup when that time's gonna come. So the preparation won't change. I'm gonna do everything I can to be ready and have the guys around me ready. And who's gonna take snaps, that's not up to me, So I'm just gonna come ready every day and be ready to play.
Thank you.
Our next question is Jim Comparoni with Spartan Mag.
Hey, Peyton, you had a couple of nice throws. You hit Tyler Hunt in a tight window and like a square in for about 15 yards. And also you had Jaden Reed on, I think, against the zone blitz for about 21 yards, both of them over the middle. Can you talk about what you saw in those plays, what it felt like to get those plays going coming out of your own territory a couple times? And can you build on those throws at all?
Yeah, for sure. I thought both guys ran good routes. Tyler Hunt ran a nice bender route, we call it. So he read what the safety was doing. He did his job, and he had a really good catch too that made it possible. So he ran a good route there and made sure to catch it. And then Jaden had a really nice catch too. I think I know which one you're talking about. He had a really good catch there, and then he's special after the catch. So if you get the ball in his hands, he's going to do something positive with it almost all the time. So I definitely think those are 2 things we can build on, and moving forward, I think that those will be good connections.
Can you think of any plays you'd like to have back that you maybe had something that developed after you were throwing or anything like that? Plays you'd like to have back?
Yeah, obviously the interception I'd love to have back. That thing just came out of my hand high, and I'd like to have that one back, obviously. And then I'm sure there were a couple that I'll look back on film and see that was probably someone open at some point. I think that we got good receivers that can get open for us, and it's my job to get it to them. So going to have to be better.
All right, we have two final questions, starting with Stephen Brooks, and we'll wrap up with Chris Solari. Stephen?
Hey, Peyton, how much, if at all, did you notice the offense change when you were in the game? And just sort of generally, what were some things you guys felt as an offense that you'd be able to do against this Indiana team?
I mean, we were trying to execute out there and carry out our game plan that we put together during the week. As I said before, Indiana has a really good defense and a really good team. They do a ton of different stuff on defense, and you gotta be good pre-snap and what you see, and then post-snap too. They'll move on you, so you gotta know where to have your eyes, and know what to do when they throw different stuff at you. So, I thought they played well, and I definitely think that that we missed, or I missed a couple things that could have helped us out.
And our final question comes from Chris Solari with the Detroit Free Press.
And Peyton, I know you didn't really have the traditional off season and the quarterback competition that you guys wanted to have really in the spring kind of got delayed, and you didn't. How was that time, and how do you think that this competition has gone about up to this point, maybe from when you did finally get back on the field in September till now?
Yeah, it was. It's obviously different than any other quarterback competition in the past, just because of the spring ball and stuff like that. And then we come back, and then fall camp gets canceled 4 days into. So it's a very unique situation, and I think both guys and plus Theo, I thought we all came in every day ready to go, and tried to play the best we could to put ourselves in a position to be the starting quarterback. And yeah, again, obviously it was a very, very unique situation. And I mean, not much else to it.
All right, Peyton, appreciate your time today.
Thank you, guys.
All right, now we'll wrap us up for today. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, man.